Hello ARMY and K-pop fans around the world. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's been creating massive waves across the K-pop community and social media. A major controversy is surrounding Hybe, one of the biggest entertainment companies in South Korea. The question is, has Hybe's new leadership failed in managing the highly anticipated BTS World Tour 2026? Why are so many ARMY disappointed and frustrated? And what does this mean for the future of BTS and Hybe itself? Stay tuned because we're going to break it all down in this video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates about the K-pop world. Alright, before we dive into the main controversy, let's take a step back to understand the context. Hybe Corporation, formerly known as Big Hit Entertainment, has undergone massive transformation in recent years. This company isn't just home to BTS, but also houses some of the biggest K-pop groups like 17, New Jeans, LE Seraphim, Tomorrow X Together, and many more. After Bang Si-hyuk, the founder and former CEO, decided to focus on his role as chairman and become more involved in the company's long-term vision, Hybe's operational leadership underwent changes. Park Ji-won, who previously served as CEO, was replaced by new leadership tasked with taking Hybe into its next era. However, this transition happened during an incredibly crucial moment, preparations for the BTS World Tour 2026, which will be the massive comeback after all members complete their military service. This isn't just any ordinary tour. This is a historic moment that millions of ARMY worldwide have been waiting for nearly 3 years. So, what actually happened? Why is Hybe's leadership under such intense scrutiny? First, let's talk about ticketing management. This is the biggest complaint from ARMY. The ticket sales system for the 2026 World Tour reportedly experienced serious technical issues. The website crashed multiple times. Many fans who had been waiting in virtual queues for hours suddenly lost their positions. And most painfully, tickets sold out within minutes only to reappear on resale sites, with prices inflated up to 10 times the original price. ARMY on Twitter and other social media platforms expressed their frustration with hashtags like #HYBDiorJob and #ProtectBTS trending worldwide. Many questioned why Hybe, with all their resources and experience, couldn't anticipate the obviously sky-high demand. Second, there are issues with venue selection and capacity. Some major cities with massive ARMY populations only got 1 or 2 concert dates with limited capacity. Meanwhile, some other potentially less strategic locations received better allocation. This raises questions about market research and strategic planning from the management team. Third, Hybe's communication with fans has been rated as extremely poor. Late announcements of tour schedules, confusing information about the ticket purchasing process, and slow responses to fan complaints made the situation worse. In the social media era, where transparency and quick communication are highly valued, Hybe's attitude toward fans feels disappointing. Now, the big question, is this really the fault of Hybe's new leadership? To answer this, we need to look at the broader context. The new leadership inherited huge responsibilities amid Hybe's aggressive expansion. In recent years, Hybe has acquired several labels, launched new groups, and expanded their operations globally. With so much to manage, focus and resources may have become divided. However, BTS is the foundation of Hybe. They are the reason why this company could grow to its current size. So when the management of the BTS World Tour, the most important event of 2026, experiences problems like this, questions about leadership priorities and competence are completely justified. Some industry analysts point to differences in management philosophy. Bang Si-hyuk was known to be very close to artists and had deep understanding of the BTS fan base. The new leadership, while potentially having strong business credentials, may lack that personal touch and understanding of the unique dynamics between BTS and ARMY. There's also an argument that HYBE's increasingly complex corporate structure makes decision-making slower and less efficient. When the company was still called Big Hit and smaller in size, they could move faster and be more responsive to the needs of artists and fans. Now, with layers of management and various divisions, processes have become more bureaucratic. Let's talk about the impact of this situation on BTS and ARMY. For BTS, this is incredibly unfair. They've completed their military obligations with full dedication, maintained relationships with fans through various means despite limitations, and are now ready for a spectacular comeback. They've been preparing themselves physically and mentally for a world tour that will be one of the most memorable moments in their careers. However, these management issues diminish the excitement and create a negative narrative around their comeback. Instead of talking about their new music, amazing performances, or the message they want to convey, discussions are dominated by frustration about ticketing and poor management. RM, BTS's leader, once said in an interview that what they value most is trust and their relationship with ARMY. When fans feel ignored or not prioritized by management, it can damage the trust that's been built over many years. For ARMY, the impact is deeply personal and emotional. Many fans have been planning this trip months in advance, saving for tickets and accommodation, arranging work or school schedules, and building high hopes to finally see BTS perform live after years of waiting. When the ticketing system failed and they couldn't get tickets, it's not just about missing a concert opportunity. It's about losing a moment they've dreamed of, feeling betrayed by a company that should protect their interests, and frustration watching scalpers profit from this situation. Interestingly, if we compare with other Korean entertainment companies, HYB should be able to learn from existing best practices. SM Entertainment, for example, has implemented a verified fan system for NCT and Super M tours that reduced scalping problems. JYP Entertainment has also used more reliable ticketing platforms for Twice and Stray Kids with more positive results. Even at the international level, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, which faced similar ticketing problems with Ticketmaster, eventually added many additional dates and implemented a fairer system for fans. Beyoncé's Renaissance Tour also used excellent tour management strategies with clear and consistent communication. HYB, with all their resources and connections, should be able to adopt or even improve these systems. The fact that they seemingly didn't raises serious questions about leadership competence and commitment to fans. There's also a technology aspect to consider. In an era where blockchain technology and NFTs are already being used for ticket verification and preventing scalping, why isn't HYB exploring these innovative solutions? They have resources for R&D and have already invested in various technologies for platforms like Weverse. Why isn't the same applied to fundamental aspects like ticketing? So far, HYB's response to this controversy has been less than satisfactory. They've issued some generic statements acknowledging technical difficulties and promising to improve systems in the future, but many feel this is too little, too late. What's more disappointing is the lack of accountability. No specific individual or department has taken responsibility for these failures. There's no detailed explanation of what went wrong and what concrete steps will be taken to ensure this doesn't happen again. Some industry insider sources indicate there's internal friction at HYB between the old team that understands BTS ARMY culture and new management more focused on the bottom line and business expansion. If this is true, it explains why decision-making feels disconnected from the reality and expectations of the fan base. There are also rumors, which we should take with a grain of salt, that some BTS members themselves have expressed concerns about this tour management internally. While we can't verify this, the fact that such rumors are circulating shows how serious this situation is perceived. On the positive side, some HYB representatives are reportedly meeting with fan representatives to hear their concerns directly. This is a good step, albeit late. Transparency and dialogue with the fan base should have been a priority from the start, not a reaction after backlash. To get a broader perspective, it's important to hear what experts in the music and entertainment industry are saying. Several music industry analysts point out that the problems HYB experienced aren't unique to them. The global concert industry is facing major post-pandemic challenges. Demand for live entertainment has exploded, while infrastructure and systems haven't fully recovered or adapted. Ticketing platforms worldwide are struggling with unprecedented traffic volumes. Stadium and venue availability has also become an issue because many artists want to tour at the same time. This creates a perfect storm of high demand and limited supply. However, experts also point out that a company as large as HYB, with a multi-billion-dollar market cap, should have the resources to navigate these challenges better. They should be able to invest in better technology, partner with more reliable ticketing platforms, or even develop in-house solutions. There's also a perspective from the business strategy side. Some analysts argue that HYB has been too aggressive in their expansion and might be spreading themselves too thin. Acquiring multiple labels, managing numerous artists, and expanding globally requires significant resources and attention. If the core business, which in this case is managing flagship artist BTS, is compromised, then that strategy needs to be reevaluated. From this situation, there are several important lessons that can be taken, not just for HYB, but for the K-pop and entertainment industry as a whole. First, never underestimate the importance of fan communication. In the digital era, fans expect transparency and responsiveness. Companies that fail to deliver this will face backlash that can significantly damage their reputation. Second, technology investment is crucial. Robust, secure, and fair ticketing systems aren't a luxury. They're a necessity in the modern era. Companies need to prioritize this just as they prioritize other aspects of their business. Third, maintain focus on core business. Expansion and diversification are good, but not at the expense of managing existing artists well. BTS is the reason HYB could do that expansion, so protecting and properly managing them must remain the top priority. Fourth, corporate culture matters. As companies grow, it's very important to maintain the values and culture that made them successful in the beginning. The balance between business efficiency and personal touch with artists and fans needs to be maintained. Fifth, accountability is essential. When mistakes occur, taking responsibility, providing clear explanations, and committing to concrete improvements will be far more effective than generic apologies and deflection. So what's next? What can we expect for the future? In the short term, HYB needs to focus on damage control. They need to address immediate concerns about ticketing, perhaps by adding dates or venues, improving communication channels, and potentially offering makeup opportunities for affected fans. For the long term, this is a major wake-up call for HYB leadership. They need serious restructuring of their internal operations, particularly in the artist management division. Investment in better technology and systems is a must. And most importantly, reconnecting with the fan base and rebuilding the trust that has been damaged. There's speculation that Bang Si-hyuk might take a more active role again in BTS-related decisions, at least for this world tour. While this may be a band-aid solution, it could help stabilize the situation in the short term. For BTS, hopefully they can stay focused on what they do best, creating incredible music and connecting with fans through their performances. They shouldn't have to worry about managerial failures when they've worked so hard for this comeback. For ARMY, this is a reminder of the power of your voice. Organized fan campaigns and constructive criticism can and should influence how companies treat artists and fans. Continue to hold Hybe accountable, but also support BTS in positive ways. So to answer our main question, has Hybe's new leadership failed to manage the BTS World Tour 2026? Based on the evidence at hand, serious ticketing problems, poor communication, and disconnect with the fan base, the answer, unfortunately, is yes, at least up to this point. There are clear failures in planning, execution, and response to problems. However, it's important to remember that this isn't the end of the story. Hybe still has the opportunity to turn things around, learn from these mistakes, and deliver the experience that BTS and ARMY deserve. True leadership isn't about never making mistakes. It's about how you respond when mistakes happen. Will Hybe rise to the occasion and prove they can learn and improve? Or will they continue with the same approach that created these problems? Only time will tell. What's clear is that the eyes of millions of fans worldwide are watching. ARMY has proven time and time again that they are the most passionate, dedicated, and vocal fan base in the world. They deserve to be treated with respect and care. That's our discussion today about the Hybe leadership controversy and management of the BTS World Tour 2026. This is a complex situation with many stakeholders and perspectives that need to be considered. What do you think about this situation? Were you affected by the ticketing issues? What do you think Hybe should do to fix this? Drop your comments below. I want to know your thoughts. And remember, even though we're critical of management, let's continue to support BTS and fellow ARMY with positive energy. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about: love for the music and artists we appreciate. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe for more K-pop content, and share with fellow ARMY who might be interested in this topic. See you in the next video. Borahi.